Hello, it's Ray, and you are watching the Trey Hart Total Heart and Health channel. Today we're going to be talking about when should you reevaluate your SMART goals. Stick around. So, when should you reevaluate these SMART goals? Well, here's some suggestions for you. 1, I know this is going to sound obvious, but when you achieve the SMART goals, obviously you need to reevaluate them. Number 2, I personally, when I start off with my SMART goals and I've sat down with my diary, I like to reevaluate them on a weekly basis just to see where I'm accomplishing them. So that's what I would suggest for you is after you've set your SMART goals, you need to know what or where you are at with achieving them. So you can do this every week or even more frequently as you need to. And what should be included is how are you doing with these SMART goals? Remember, we're talking about relevancy and achievable, or how achievable they are. So if you're into your first week of your SMART goals and you realize that maybe I need to reevaluate them, then that is very appropriate. You may remember that I talked to you about when I first started skip roping. Now, I was much bigger than what I am now, but after only skip roping a couple of times, I realized that due to my size and weight at the time, that it was smarter for me to reset a goal to restart my skipping training at a later date. The reason for that is because the amount of pressures that they were putting on my knees and on my legs, and the amount of pain I felt the day after I was doing them. So that's number 3, is when you realize that the goals aren't appropriate, then as well you need to reevaluate them. And like I did in that scenario. Number 4 would be in a set time down the road. For example, when you set your SMART goals, you set what you want to do down for a period of time. In my SMART goals, that was weight loss. And I didn't just sit and say, okay, I want to lose 50 pounds or I want to lose 100 pounds or whatever my goal was at that time. What I did is I set smaller chunks of SMART goals. So when I achieved the 10 pounds, then I said, okay, reset my goals of I want to achieve more. And so what I did with those SMART goals is I reevaluated how I was going to do. Part of the evaluation included, things that I was doing to accomplish the goals, what I was eating, what I wasn't eating, was this working? And part of this included what I needed to change. So as part of reevaluating your SMART goals, you also need to reevaluate your plan for accomplishing them. Fortunately, most of the times when we set SMART goals or when we set goals for ourselves, we're able to achieve our outcomes. But even though we're able to achieve our outcomes, when we're doing this in smaller chunks, it makes it seem like it was easier. And then at the end of the day, when we go back and reevaluate them, then we could see that, they were what we needed to do at the time. So if you've been following me for any length of time, you will hopefully have a journal. One of the things that I encourage you to do is pull out your journal, document down some of the things that you've learned from this video today and how you plan to reevaluate your SMART goals, and then what you plan to do. And remember to be specific for each of these goals. So while it may seem straightforward that you should reevaluate your SMART goals when you've achieved them and when they're unachievable, there are some people that say, well, how frequently should I evaluate them? That personally is up to you. I would suggest when you're first starting your SMART goals, especially when it's a new habit, that you want to do it on a weekly basis. As your habits get more developed, then you can redo it on a monthly basis. And if you are very consistent with your habits, then maybe every other month. I wouldn't suggest doing your SMART goals more than every other month. Matter of fact, I would suggest that the minimum amount of time, or the maximum, I should say, would be 1 month period. And the minimum amount of period would be up to you. That could be daily or weekly. But my suggestion would be when you very first start, that it's at least weekly. So, I hope you've liked this. In my next video, I'm going to be talking about what to do when you come against that diet wall, and hopefully give you some suggestions that will help you with that. So remember, your health is your wealth, and you are absolutely worth it. I will see you next time. Bye for now.